Speaking of injuries, fairly high-profile quarterback dealing with an elbow problem. And, we saw Sean McDermott on Tuesday. We played the video, and we agreed. He seems a little concerned. He was borderline glum, as you said. Here's McDermott from yesterday talking about Josh Allen's status just a few days away from their home game against the 7-1 Vikings.
He's day-to-day, and the next question will be, is he going to play? And the answer is, we'll see. So based on the medical report that we have, Josh is day-to-day. He's day-to-day. We'll see. We will see.
Will he be limited?
Give me 1 second. Let me answer his question fully, please. We will see how he does. We use common sense, and obviously we factor a lot of things into it, medical report being one of them, and our doctor's wisdom and knowledge.
Day-to-day, did not practice at all yesterday. And, hey, this is the most telling fact. Remember when Aaron Rodgers was undecided about what he was going to do 2021, the weekend before camp, the sports books pulled off all the bets.
Right.
All the futures bets.
Yep.
Because they didn't know whether or not he was going to retire.
Yeah.
Now, if they had known one way or the other, there would have been bets on the board.
Right.
The bets only get pulled when Vegas and the sports books don't have the info. In this case, we've seen the line go from Bills minus 9.5 to Bills minus 3.5. That tells me they know. They know that he ain't playing, Chris. They know. It'd be off the board if it was truly undecided. Their best information right now is he's not playing, and the line reflects it. The movement of the line reflects it.
I saw that. That was pretty shocking to me. And I am in the official, after the draft last year and a few things that happened, I'm like, oh, I'm going to listen to Vegas when it comes to stuff like that. They seem to always know. Always. I would say even again there, just the way that question was answered day to day, that wasn't, I don't know. There was something about that wasn't real confident and full-throated and like, hey, he's day-to-day, but we're making progress, and we're hopeful he can play this week. There was more like, it was more like it's day-to-day and holy crap, I hope it gets better tomorrow day because it ain't good today. All right? I mean, I'm being silly there. It's not a real Simsism. But, I mean, how can they not be concerned? I mean, like we talked about.
This thing, the more I see it.
Yeah.
It looks incredibly painful. How did he uncork the throw to Gabe Davis after this? And that,
well, the next throw
unnatural
after this,
movement.
He had a throw to his right side, if you remember, where he skipped the ball. He had, I believe it was Stephon Diggs on like a deep curl route to his right side, and he missed the throw by 7-8 feet and skipped it, and then was grabbing his arm again. So it was obviously was bothering him a little bit. You don't see Josh Allen, throw the ball short very often, but you're right. And then the next play throws really the most unbelievable throw of the year. I mean, that was 70 yards in the air running to his left. That was kind of sick. But I don't know. There's something about this guy, too, that I just feel like he's like Superman, and you can't hurt him right now. I think we're going to end up seeing him out there on Sunday. I don't know why.
But that's what made it so jarring to see Superman grabbing at his elbow, because you don't grab at it if it doesn't hurt. And I think back to the days when we would spend hours at the baseball field, and there's a point where you throw the ball just enough times where you can just feel that ache. Because it's very unnatural. The more natural way for the human body to throw a ball is underhand, not overhand. You put all sorts of different stress, and it can only take so much. And you get an injury in your elbow, like today, and it's more of a function of age than anything. Like I like felt something in my elbow, and it's like, man, what is this? And I didn't do anything. You had a real injury where that thing got twisted around. I hope he plays. I hope he's healthy. I hope we don't go multiple weeks without one of the best two quarterbacks in football right now. But all the signs are pointing to this guy not playing, and they're just trying to keep the Vikings in the dark about facing their former quarterback, Case Keenum, on Sunday. And, hey, look, I think the Bills could still win the game. And the idea of Case Keenum and Stephon Diggs going against the Vikings, there's poetry to that. The Minneapolis Miracle return game, the two guys responsible for one of the most memorable plays in NFL history on the field together, throwing passes between each other against the team that they did. It'd be like Terry Bradshaw and Franco Harris playing for the Raiders a few years after the Immaculate Reception. It's unbelievable if it happens.
It is unbelievable. And again, they're very dependent on Josh Allen's talents, and we know why. I mean, he's special that way. I don't know. Maybe if he doesn't play, maybe it's one of those things where, it's like Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. They find a few new ways to go, wait, we got to do something else because we don't have Superman here, so we got to go to the drawing board and help Case Keenum out and our team out and find another way to, rip off some big plays in that. Maybe that's where this can end up helping out, certainly. But I don't want to see it. I mean, again, it's the Vikings. They're 7-1. We don't really think they're as good as 7-1. I want to be able to see them against a full-strength Bills team to measure them a little bit. That's where it's going to be disappointing if he can't play. But either way, that's not a bad second fiddle to have Case Keenum going against his old squad.
That is just a hell of a compelling game because, the Vikings have had, through 8 games, they've had only one true road game where they had to tiptoe into the Lions' den. And there's no tiptoeing to be done in Philadelphia. There's no tiptoeing to be done in Buffalo. The only other true road game they had was Washington. And, come on. The Vikings fans were louder than the Commanders fans. So this is going to be shades of week 2. I mean, think about it. I mean, the Vikings have had these favorable environments. You play a road game.
They got
a
shamrock up their ass this year, for sure.
Road game against the Saints in London.
And now after this game, start.
Hey, Chris, after this game, they got 5 of 6 at home. The only road game is at Detroit. And then the last 2 games on the road at Green Bay, at Chicago, both of those teams may be dead in the water by then.
No, I know.
I mean, yeah, sometimes you just start. It's Slumdog Millionaire.
Yeah, it's better to be lucky than good. I know.
One after another, lucky, and the next thing you know, you're one of the better teams in the NFL. It really is amazing how it's played out.
Yeah, it is. They got the momentum going, but yeah, that's where I think we question it because because of what you're talking about. I mean, the Lions game, they won, yeah, but you go, man, the Lions did some dumb things there to help them win. The Saints game, and as Andy Dalton first start in London, there was those issues there. The Bears, it was before they unveiled this Justin Fields running offense, and they weren't the same team. They got fortunate there. The Dolphins, you got to play a third-string quarterback when you went and played them. The Cardinals, hey, I'll give them respect for those wins. And even last week, I mean, they were outplayed for the most part of the football game. But big pass by Kirk Cousins and a stupid interception by Taylor Heineke, and you guys hung around and won it. But that's why I do go 7-1, number 2 in the PFT Mike Florio power rankings, but I don't think they're really the number 2 team in football, that's for sure. But we'll see. Either way, without Josh Allen or with him, I do think this week gives us another little bit, at least a somewhat of a measuring stick to go, okay, this is how good they are, regardless of whether Allen plays.
I was on radio with Paul Allen, the voice of the Vikings, KFAN, yesterday. Every Wednesday at 10 Eastern, he and I visit, and he was very happy about the fact that the Vikings are number 2 in the power rankings. And I said to him what I said to you yesterday. It's like, well, this is basically your participation trophy because it's all going to fall apart starting this weekend. He didn't like that very much, but maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. They're pulling another lucky card if they don't have to see Josh Allen. I mean, I don't know that they'll win. I don't know that they who knows? Who knows? But you got a much better chance of winning if you don't have to face the guy who ran all over you when he was a rookie, when the Vikings were 17.5-point favorites. And I know a lot was different 4 years ago, different coaching staff, a lot of different players. But it's Josh Allen. If you can avoid Josh Allen, it's like avoiding Patrick Mahomes, although the Vikings did lose in Kansas City to Matt Moore the year that Patrick Mahomes was out. So, and again, different coaching staff. But if you can avoid facing Josh Allen, so be it. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.